Hey, baby, you want some knowledge? Come take a bite.
What's up? Today here at Wise as Serpent, we're going to be doing something my son asked us to do. He wants to, me as a Bible scholar, to go over this Zionist thing. The Darby dispensational theology and why these people act so strange. Stick with us and might be entertaining. You might learn something. Thank you. What's up? You ready for it? Let's check it out.
This woman from the White House said that posting an interview that I did made you an anti-Semite.
She said that there were people complaining about certain things that I was posting. And then this was the worst. She said, you posted Pope Leo, and what he said, and you wrote in the caption, that there's suffering in Gaza and there's a genocide. You really you shouldn't use that language. That's when I knew this is a war. We are in an absolute war. I said, I'm a Catholic. You're telling me that I have to censor my posts of Pope Leo, the Holy Father? I can't post what he's saying, talking about the grave suffering of the Palestinians in Gaza. And she said, you also cannot talk about Zionism. So Zionism, this is her words, is their right to exist. And so when you're posting about Zionism, Carrie, you're saying that the Jews don't have a right to exist.
Huh? Mary Margaret Bush is her name?
Mary Margaret Bush is her name. She's a young woman. And I said, well, this wouldn't jeopardize my position on the commission, would it? Like, the president doesn't know about this, right? Because imagine me. I'm like, I just got appointed. I'm super excited. I'm passionate. This is like my dream job, to protect religious freedom.
What she's talking about here is how Catholics are Christocentric theology. And she's talking about the suffering in Gaza, and being anti-Zionism or a Zionist is not being anti-Jewish or what they call anti-Semite. But Christocentric theology is what the Catholics claim, but it's more like covenantal theology is what she's claiming, or what it sounds like she's claiming. Let's watch.
And now I'm being told I don't have my own. And she goes, oh, no, the president, no, don't worry about this, Carrie. This wouldn't jeopardize. So I just kept posting. Well, then I got a call from the PPO office at the White House.
May I just ask you to pause for 1 second? Did Mary Margaret Bush tell you who had called you an anti-Semite? That's a serious slander.
Oh, yeah.
Did she name the people saying
She
that?
said, I have no idea who it is.
Oh, it's just people are saying.
I think the people was Paula White. Let's just be honest. It was.
If they're calling her an anti-Semite because she disagrees with the genocide in Gaza and says she's an anti-Zionist, that's not anti-Semitism in any way whatsoever. Yeah, I'm a doctor of religious study, but that still shouldn't qualify. I don't think in politics. I mean, politics do go into religion, so I would say no. I think it's terrible that what they're doing. But continue.
It's Paula White, I think. My personal opinion.
Okay, so now, I'm sorry to keep interrupting this amazing narrative, but for people who don't follow this, who is Paula White?
Paula White is Trump's pastor.
Okay.
That's who he picked as his pastor.
And she's a pastor? That's her official position? She's a pastor?
I don't believe women can be pastors, but
right.
Who am I? I'm just a dumb mom in California.
So is she a Christian pastor, Paula
She's a
White?
Christian Zionist evangelical heretic, in my opinion.
Okay.
Hey, Dad.
But yeah, she's Trump.
Paula White.
Paula White. Well, let's take a look. I guess this is Paula White. This is who you want me to take a look at?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I don't know who she is, but let's see.
And strike 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 until you have victory. For every enemy that is aligned against you, let there be that we would strike the ground, for you will give us victory, God. I hear a sound of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of shouting and singing. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of an abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of an abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. The ground, for you will give us victory, God. I hear a sound.
She seems rather ecstatic. Maybe very, very evangelical, I would say. Most likely dispensational theology. I mean, typically what happens with those people, she seems a little manic. I'm not sure. Let's continue to watch her and take a look at her behavior. It's rather odd, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
Of abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of shouting and singing. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of an abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of an abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory.
well, I mean, the one thing I'd like to say is, in the Bible, it says that you shall not pray in vain repetition. I mean, that's one thing that is in the Old Testament. I'm not sure of the scripture for that. Let me find it and pull it up real quick. Yeah, I think it's in Matthew 6:7. But when you pray, use not vain repetitions as the heathen do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking. Well, I would say that's her right there. I mean, listen to this, man. She must have said it like 100 times. I smell the sound of victory or something, right? Let's keep going, Miss White, and let's check it out.
Angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now. Angels have even descended.
Oh my gosh. I mean, she's speaking in tongues and it's called glossolalia. I can't pronounce the word. I never could. I'll put the word on the screen. Glossolalia. Glossolalia. It's kind of where you could blank your mind, right? And you could say, like blank your mind. La basanda basanda bokunda bunda bunda bunda, whatever. I mean, I guess, glossolalia. It's a term. It comes from Greek, right? And it literally means, I don't know why she's doing it or whatever. Maybe it's for effect, right? I'm not sure. Or maybe she actually believes the stuff she's saying. A lot of people do. She seems like, I don't want to insult the lady. I don't know her, but she might be in dire need of some medication or something. I'm not sure. She's Trump's advisor?
Yeah, she is.
Hold on a second. Let me get this straight. This woman is Trump's advisor. That's
spiritual advisor.
No wonder we're at war. I mean, this is insanity. I mean, wouldn't he have someone a little more saner? Let's take more look at this woman here real quick and see what's going on.
Dispatch from Africa right now. Africa right now. Africa right now. From Africa right now. They're coming here. They're coming here. In the name of Jesus. From South America. They're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here. From Africa. From South America. Angelic forces. Angelic reinforcement. Angelic reinforcement. Angelic reinforcement.
I don't know what she hears, but she keeps saying the glossolalia. I don't know what that's for. What do you think? That's effect or something? Or what is she doing? She hears the angels. She sees the angels. Obviously, she doesn't see anything unless she's like delusional. It's like they worked all right, evangelicals, Jacob, they work themselves up. They go to church. They listen to this music. They get hyped up. It's basically just like going to a rock concert, except it's focused on a God that never shows up.
Yeah.
He's never there. So what you have is you have people that go there and nothing ever happens. They pray for this. They pray for that. I'm sure she's, Church of God, Assemblies of God, Church of God of Cleveland. Maybe she's non-denominational, I guess. What they do is they tend to be very judgmental, and they tend to support the nation of Israel because they think that in the Bible it says to bless Israel. It's those who bless Abraham will be blessed, and those who curse Abraham will be cursed. Genesis 12:3, right? I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curse thee. Okay, Abraham was a Gentile. He was from the land of Ur, although he never existed. We have no evidence archaeologically or historically that the man ever existed. But if you take that and you apply it to the modern state of Israel, that's just wrong. It doesn't apply. The modern state of Israel is not a continuation or any continuity with anyone at all, really, except the temple cult. And the temple cult had sacrifices. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so these things are, it's a covenant promise to the people that were with Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't considered Jewish or Semitic. Really, I mean, if you want to know that, they were mainly ethnos, goyim, whatever you want to call them, right? I mean, this covenant promise stuff, it's pretty much made up nonsense, but people believe it anyway. So they go there and they get hysterical. They work themselves up. That's what she's doing right now, by the way. She's working herself up. But let's take a look at the other video you have on her. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's all right.
Shay, Derek, Pastor Todd, Anna, Niv, my friend. You in the arena, Johnny?
The arena of what?
In the arena.
What is she talking about?
Because if you're in the arena, you are 100.
I'm not sure. Let's continue to listen to her in the arena. She's probably pretending God is talking to her. I mean, this God that she worships, it's delusional, but I mean, it's religious. I mean, so we can't really criticize it too much.
Yeah.
Because what it is one person who's insane and they believe delusions. But what you have is when everyone believes one man's delusion, they call it religion.
Okay.
So this is pretty much delusional stuff. But let's keep rolling. Let's see what she says.
100% in your purpose. You were breathing the reason for your life. Well, I just can't do that. Whatever you are called to do, CEO, fund the kingdom. Eddie James, take in more kids. How much does it cost you to take in kids, Eddie? What's it cost a week about? 30 to 40,000 a week? Good. We're going to raise you some tonight. Do you think he goes?
What she's doing right now is making an appeal for money. It's called audience capture. She's already got them. She'll say, look at those nice spiked stilettos she's wearing and those leather pants and stuff. That's she's obviously in her 50s and she's trying to look like she's in her 30s or 60s. Who knows what she is? But I'm not criticizing her dress. Really, I shouldn't do that. But I'm just thinking it's kind of odd that a pastor or whatever she calls herself, right, would wear that kind of stuff on stage. I guess but she's Trump's advisor. I mean, no wonder the damn country is going to hell. I mean, this is crazy. Let's keep watching her and let's see. I mean, this thing she's trying to do is she's saying we're going to raise money right now. She's trying to audience capture. She's trying to basically bilk these cats or fleece everybody in there out of some cash, right? You'll see.
So I won't get in the arena and believe God for 30,000. I've known you. How long have we known each other? 30 years, almost since the 90s. Over 30 years we've been doing this a long time together. I used to dance a lot faster and better too, but I'm not bad for 60. I'm almost through. Y'all ready? Are you getting it? If you went, if my arena cost me 30,000 a week, I couldn't do that.
It's enough
Did
for
you
her.
grow
I mean,
up rich, Eddie?
she's just evangelical. I mean, let's
Arena.
see. We're back. Let's take a look at Carrie Pregine. Let's bring her up to full screen. Let's take a look at her.
And I looked her up.
From Presidential Personnel Office.
Yes, PPO office. Yeah. I got a call in August, shortly after that phone call with the other Mary. And I'll never forget it. I answered the phone and she's like, "Hi, Carrie. This is Mary Sproles calling from the White House PPO office. I'm calling to ask you for your resignation today."
When was this?
This was in August. Yeah. This was in August. A few weeks
scary.
after. Yes, very scary.
Any meetings of the commission
Can't
at this
believe I
point?
hit the wrong
Our
thing.
first, we had a first hearing, briefly, like a brief hearing on kind of the history of religious freedom in America. But our first hearing, the most important hearing coming up, the little boy that had to read the book, was a few weeks later.
Okay, so this is before you even served out your duties.
Oh yeah, no,
as
it was
a
before the
commissioner.
first official hearing. It was.
And she asked for your resignation.
What it sounds like to me, Jacob, is that this Zionism thing is going too far or something. This anti-Semitic thing. It doesn't sound even reasonable. It's like a witch hunt. It's like McCarthyism. It's, that's what it sounds like. And if they're after her because she criticized Israel, I mean, so what? Israel's not America. You have free speech. I mean, you can say whatever you want about the nation of Israel. Matter of fact, I don't support the nation of Israel, period. I support the USA. I mean, I live here. I was born here. And I support the United States of America and free speech above these Zionist opinions. And let's keep rolling. This is ridiculous. I mean, I don't know why she would cry about that, but I guess she feels like she's been done in or something.
Said, I want your written resignation today. And I said, who are you? I thought this was a joke. Who is this person? And she goes, I am calling on behalf of the White House. I said, why would you ask me for my resignation? I just got on this commission. What did I do wrong?
Boy, you are tough.
I was not going to go down without a fight because I knew.
Clearly.
I knew.
I'm just looking at your husband who's nodding. She's tough. So, excuse me.
No.
Good for you.
Yeah, I said, I'm not resigning. And I don't know who asked you to have me resign. Was it the president? Because I think the president should ask me to resign if he wants me to resign. He appointed me and only he can ask for my resignation. So I'm not resigning. So we got off the phone.
Wait, but on what grounds was she demanding your resignation?
She did not answer any questions. She was just told. It was like a puppet. She was like, I got to just send the message. So I called her back.
So she said, we're asking for your resignation, but she did not explain why.
No. She said, it's just not working out. Yeah, literally. Now that it's coming back to me.
This was not a Tinder date. It's just not working out.
It's just not working out. And I'm going, this is...
They're saying it didn't work out because she stood up against Zionism and she's a Catholic. Let's just keep going.
Serious. This is very serious.
Yeah.
So then I hung up and then I wanted to make sure it was a legit person. So I called right back and I said, hi, Mary. I said, this is Carrie. I'm just curious, please. I know you don't want to give me information. I know you're just a messenger because I didn't want to be mean to her.
Of course.
But I said, who is telling you to have me resign? Who have you talked to? And I'll never forget it. She didn't want to say it, but she finally said it. She goes, I've talked to Paula White and Dan Patrick and Brittany Baldwin, who Brittany Baldwin used to work for Ted Cruz. So it's all making sense now, what's going on. So this is a witch hunt. They're trying to actively remove me. And they know that the only way that I could be removed is if I resign or if I die or if the president removes me. So in my mind, I'm thinking, does the president know about this? Or is this just the Dan and Paula trying to out me on their own? I think they thought, if we ask her to resign, she'll resign. But I didn't resign. I said, no, there's no reason to resign. You should resign, actually. Why are you asking me to resign? So she told me Dan, Patrick, Paula. So immediately, imagine how boiling I was. So I tried to get in touch with Paula White. No response. I tried to get in touch with Dan. No response.
Did you call them or text them or?
The weirdest part about this commission, I honestly think it's so fake and gay because we didn't even have each other's phone numbers, emails. I had to literally ask hey, can I get Paula White's email? So I actually called her daughter-in-law. Her name's Rachel. She's a pastor, young woman. And I said, hey, Rachel, I just got this disturbing call. I need to talk to Paula immediately. And she's like, okay, let me try to get a hold of her. Paula never called me back.
What?
No, I waited for a week and a half.
Isn't she required to in the New Testament? If you have a conflict with a fellow Christian. Is it Matthew 18?
Matthew 18.
Man, you're good.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it sounds like this Paula White woman. It says a woman, if you're an evangelical Christian, but I guess after Joyce Myers, anything goes. Usually evangelicals are pretty much male chauvinistic type, and they want, because they say Paul said that women should never usurp authority over the man. They should keep their head covered in church. And I don't know if he didn't say that, but I mean, they usually go by that. I'm not saying I agree with that nonsense. I surely don't, but they usually do. So she doesn't follow that scripture. So why should she follow any of this Matthew scripture that she's talking about? It's just more ridiculous nonsense after the next. Let's see.
That's a requirement from Jesus.
Yeah.
You've got a problem.
Go directly to that person.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I did. And she did not want to call me back. And then her daughter-in-law, I got her on the phone and her daughter-in-law said, yeah, I talked to my mom And she said, don't worry about it. There's a lot of snakes in DC. There's a lot of snakes in the White House. And I would just ignore it. And my mother-in-law loves you, Carrie. Don't worry about it. I think it's just one of the snakes in the White
Paula
House.
White would not speak to you directly.
No. So then finally, after I was on pins and needles for a week and a half, wondering what's going on? Am I on this commission? I emailed everybody. I called Bishop Barron. I got him on the phone. I said, hey, did you hear that they tried to remove me? He goes, what? Why would they try to remove you? I said, I have no idea other than I've been criticizing Israel and, talking about the genocide in Gaza. Sorry, I'm a pro-life Christian. I can't sit here while children are being starved and bombed. And he totally supported me. And he's like, this is insane. You would never be removed from that. Bishop Barron told me that. Talk to Ben Carson. Ben Carson's on the commission with me. Hey, Ben, did you hear about them trying to remove me from this commission? No, absolutely not. Ignore it. I've never heard of anything about this. Kelly Shackelford, same thing. I said, you're a religious liberty attorney for 35 years. Did I do something wrong? Am I not allowed to have my religious freedom while serving on this religious liberty commission? Or do I have to be a Zionist who supports a genocide? Is that the requirements of this commission?
It sounds like you do have to support the genocide in Gaza to be on this commission. I mean, if they booted her off like that, for whatever reason, she's a Catholic, so she should tell about covenantal theology. Let's go up here and find out what she's talking about. Let's roll with this.
Did either one of them, so Dan is a self-described Christian, Paula White is some kind of Christian minister, I guess. I want to be clear, it doesn't look like Christianity to me, but I'm trying not to judge. But did either one of them explain why a requirement of the Christian faith is supporting the Netanyahu government? Do they explain the theology there? Because I don't understand it.
Yeah, no, they never explained it. They just said, you can't have your theology. You can't believe what you want. You have to submit to ours.
But their theology is that Christians are required as a matter of faith to support the government of Israel?
Oh, yeah. Do
you have any
Those
idea?
who bless Israel will be blessed.
That's false. Okay, that's false. Take it from me, that's false. That's not true at all. If you're a Christian watching this right now, you do not have to support Israel. That's fake. They want you to believe that. That's propaganda. The nation state of Israel was formed in 1948. It has nothing to do with your biblical revelations or any of that stuff. It's a secular state. If you are a Christian, you do not have to. There's no obligation anywhere for you to support Israel. And that's just that scripture in Genesis 12. It means you support Abraham, but that's 3,500 so years ago. It has absolutely nothing to do with the modern state of Israel today. Let's continue.
It's exactly what Ted told you.
Yeah, I mean, he had no idea where in the Bible it was. Of course, that line is not actually in the Bible. It doesn't say that.
No.
But whatever, the leap between that, whatever that means, it does mean something, and the religious requirement to support the government of Israel, I mean, those are just like completely two different things.
No, they don't think they are.
Did Paula White or Dan Patrick explain where you were wrong on doctrine?
No, they just said, I cannot hold firm to replacement theology, which they don't know. Catholics, it's fulfillment theology. We believe that we are the fulfillment. It's not replace. They like to dig us and say, oh, you believe in replacement theology. No. We're the
That's called covenantal theology, and it's not replacement theology. I guess it would be to a certain degree, but it believes the church is a fulfillment of prophecy, or the church itself is now basically Zion, or the chosen folks. And it does say in 1 Peter, I can't remember, you're peculiar people, you're chosen by God, blah, blah, blah. It goes into Romans 9, 10, and 11, okay? Most scholars agree that those chapters were added, 9, 10, and 11, to that anyway, and that's supposedly from Apostle Paul, but about predestination, I've chosen you, and all this happy horse stuff, happy horse shit. This chosen by God stuff is absolutely supremacist language, on her part too, by the way, believing she's chosen by God. It's supremacist language, very supremacist. It's just like being a racist. You think, well, I'm chosen by God and other people's lives don't matter. she may feel sorry and have empathy for the children in Palestine and the people that were slaughtered and frozen and their food was poisoned. There's a lot of terrible things going on in the world right now.
Horrible.
And Christians shouldn't support any of it, but they do. I mean, they do. And that's the problem. Let's see what else is going on with their covenantal theology. And the other people believe in what they call dispensational theology. It came through a guy by the name of Darby in 1830. In 1830, Darby came up with this crazy thing where God operates at different times, like he's like in wrath, in grace, law, judgment, and things like that. It was heretical when it came out. The people wouldn't listen to him. They thought it was stupid. But what happened was the Zionist League, they liked it because it says God has a plan for the Jews and God has a plan for Christians, which is not true. It's not even biblical whatsoever. That's Christians. If you're a Christian, you believe in the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. And you have faith in that's your sacrifice and what have you to get to heaven. And Jesus never said start wars, and he never said worship the nation state of Israel. He never said any of that. And as a matter of fact, he only was concerned with people, and he only showed love and grace to people. So for a Christian to support a war, even this Iranian war is ridiculous. I mean, Trump claims that Iran was a direct threat to the United States, maybe some bases overseas, but they're a direct threat to Israel, and I believe what they call the Greater Israel Project. I'm not exactly sure. I know a little bit about it. It sounds hokey to me, but let's continue with her.
Fulfillment. Christ is the fulfillment of Israel.
Well, that's what
So
it
we are the
says
new
in
people
New
of
Testament.
God. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it says it like on every page.
Yeah.
But they're accusing you of believing in something called replacement theology. For people who don't follow this, and I'm kind of one of them, I don't fully understand what that means. What do they mean by that?
They believe that, so replacement theology, their claim is that the church has replaced Israel. So for 2,000 years, that's what all of the early church fathers have taught, that we are the new Israel, we're the spiritual Semites. They would literally be rolling in their graves if they thought that we were being told that 1948 Israel is some biblical prophecy fulfillment. I mean, that alone is insane. That they think that.
I agree with her 100%. That is insane. And they actually would be rolling in their graves if that's not true whatsoever. 1948 Israel is not biblical Israel, okay? I know you believe in the rapture. Some of you people, the pre-trib, the trib, and mid-trib and post-trib nonsense. Of course, I do not. I think it's nonsense. You may believe it wholeheartedly, and I don't mean to offend you, but I do not. But as far as it goes out there, Jacob, when you're dealing with people, right? They have this hardcore belief that they must support Israel, and people like John Hagee, the CBN 700 Club. These are evangelical Christians, right? I would say that some of them have screwed. They're not wrapped too tight.
Yeah.
Okay, and she's saying she's a Catholic. There's nothing wrong with being a Catholic. I don't agree with their theology or agree with them at all, but that's fine. You know, if that's what you are, and that's what you are, and that's what you believe. But as far as supporting Israel above the United States of America when you live here, and you should be loyal to the U.S. and be I guess. I mean, I can't tell people what to do, but it seems like logical common sense.
Yeah, it's a foreign country.
Yeah, it's a foreign country. I mean, we're in war. We're risking World War III right now, and we're slaughtering. Look, I saw on TV where 165 young girls died, were shot with a Tomahawk missile. I mean, that's what the hell? I mean, that's wrong on every level. I mean, I don't support that at all whatsoever. Whatsoever. Let's see what's going on. Carrie Prejean, she came out in 2010, I think, or 2009, and she said a marriage is between a man and a woman, and she stuck to it. That's all I remember about her. That's her belief. She can defend her belief. She can have beliefs, whatever. Most Americans believe that, I'm sure. But it's been pushed upon people, this woke ideology, which woke ideology is a religion in of itself. All they do is condemn and criticize everyone, labeling them a racist, homophobic, Nazi, whatever word they want to use to describe people. But to unalive people, that's wrong on every level. I'm not a Zionist. I do not support war of any kind, period.
This political state of Israel that was created in 48, mostly by atheists, is some biblical prophecy being fulfilled. And I mean, you're aware of Darby and Schofield, and so this is the fruit of that those rotten.
Is there any other
seeds.
place in America, I mean, in the world rather, where you have a big group of Christians who believe that 1948 Israel is a fulfillment of prophecy?
No. In fact, do you know, Tucker, that I asked my priest, who I had about 6 priests guiding me before this hearing, spiritually advising me before this hearing, because I wanted to make sure. I need to make sure that I know what I'm saying and that it's actually accurate with what the church teaches. And I'll never forget, he's from Spain. God bless him. He's so sweet. And I said, Father, do you know what Zionism is? He looked at me like I was an alien. And he's like, what's Zionism? I couldn't believe it. I said, you realize in America that these people like Paula White, Dan Patrick, Ted Cruz, most of our politicians in government who have power, who are in the White House praying over the president, they're Zionists. They believe that 1948 Israel is a biblical prophecy fulfillment. He looked at me like I was crazy. He said,
if what she's saying is true, America's in a world of trouble. If Trump believes that nonsense and Ted Cruz believes that nonsense. I saw Ted Cruz interview, and it sounds like he does. I don't know. He said he was elected the best to serve Israel. I thought he was serving Texas. Yeah, does that make sense? I guess he doesn't serve Texas any longer. He only serves Israel. I mean, if what she's saying is true, we're in a world of trouble in America. And especially they're all AIPAC people, too. I was watching this thing with Thomas Massey, and he said that that all these people are getting millions and millions of dollars from AIPAC. You ever heard of that?
No. What is that?
American Israel PAC, like that. They operate here in America, and they need to be registered as a foreign agent, but they're not because they operate, and they pay off politicians or give them money, and they give them representatives and stuff. They go to Congress and they pass laws against free speech, calling it anti-Semitism. They had this thing called divest, where people were going out there supporting Palestine, and they were divesting from Israel. It means that they don't support any country, any company that's from Israel, and they want to stop it. We give all this money to Israel for weapons. This war is costing us billions of dollars a day. Gas prices are going to rise. The price of things at the grocery store are ridiculous. And Trump, who said he's going to make America great, mega. I supported Trump to a certain point because I believed him. He lies, but I believed him. And now I do not support him at all. I mean, I only voted for him because, who could vote for Kamala Harris?
Yeah.
She is a lying, conniving person, but Trump, maybe he fooled everyone. It's not MAGA, it's MIGA, make Israel great again, I guess. That's what it sounds like to me. But firing Carrie Prejean is ridiculous. I can't believe it. I'm not. Jewish people are great people. They're not bad people at all. So anyone out there, if you hate people because they're Jewish, don't think that I would agree with you. I tell you to kiss my ass. Or Christian people. See, here's the thing. You have assholes in every group. You have assholes. Like, I don't like Benjamin Netanyahu or Benjamin Mierlowski or whatever his name is, a Polish guy. That's what he is, Polish. And he's over there right now. He changed his name to Netanyahu, his dad did, so he could sound more, I guess, Levantine or Levant or something. But, Israel, I don't think we should support Israel, but that's just my opinion. You can do what you like. Let's hear what she has to say.
But nobody's ever taught that. I said, I know. And now they're forcing it on me, a Catholic, on this commission. Yeah, it's really scary.
Well, and especially since we just, wound up in a war thanks to this. I mean, it's hard not to see this as all preparation for this war, which is resetting the world.
And they had to get rid of the only dissenter of Zionism. They had to get rid of her on this commission before the war. It was within weeks.
That did occur to me watching this. Why is it so important to crush this woman? Like, okay, she's got views you disagree with. It's a religious liberty commission. You've got, are there Jews on it too? I assume.
One rabbi.
Yeah. So he's got different views. You would think he's Jewish, you're Christian. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to disagree.
I know.
But it's not okay to question the behavior of the secular nation state of Israel. So that tells you it's not really about religious liberty,
No,
right?
not at all.
It's about, part of that conversation was what? They call you and tell you you've got to run your social media post by this priestess.
Yeah.
And you say no. Then what happens?
So I kind of played along with it just to see where it would go. So I didn't stop posting, but I would run things by her. Like that kid in Florida who was being detained in Israel.
Yeah.
I sent her an email and I said, hey, Paula, I said, there's a kid in, Israel that's detained. I said,
U.S. citizen.
U.S. citizen. I said, we need to do something about this. I said, I know you have connections with Bibi. Maybe you can call Bibi up and see if you can get him released. This is what I am supposed to do on this commission. This is a U.S. citizen that is being detained, a child in Israel, and nobody's doing anything about it. No response. Then I sent her another email saying, hey, Paula, there's a bunch of teachers, the Christian schools in Israel are being shut down because these Palestinian teachers are being told they can't come and teach. So these Christian schools are going to be closed. Can you help? Can you do something about it? No response. So this arrogant woman who had the audacity to ask me to get things run by her in order to post online doesn't even have the respect to respond. She does not care about religious freedom at all. And that's when I really knew that I was up against a big, big giant. So I just kept posting. And I just kept posting more and more every day. Because I wasn't going to allow them to do this to me. No, they messed with the wrong person.
Apparently they did.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it so much. I can't stand it. I wish more men were like this.
I know.
Sorry to say that. It makes me so sad. Anyway, yeah, it's like 90% of the people I know in my world who were like, oh, you told me to violate my principles. I'm doubling down on my principles.
Oh, yeah.
They're like 90% women. And I don't know what, and I respect and love them all, truly revere them. But like half the population's male, or where are the men? I don't get it. I talk to my wife about this all the time. Like, what is that?
They're afraid.
It's...
Well, nobody wants to be called an anti-Semite.
I get it.
Nobody wants to be called a racist. Nobody wants to go through what you're going through.
That's a big problem, Jacob, in America. People don't want to be called names. I don't particularly give a damn what they call me, right? Yeah, racist, anti-Semite. Look, those are just labels, you know? I mean, any asshole can call you anything they want, you know? When I grew up back in the 80s, right? No one gave a shit. They'd be like, yeah, you're a racist. And you'd flip them off and say, who cares?
And some.
And some, yeah. Nowadays, if you speak against these protected groups, they're called protected, which makes no sense to me either. I don't understand any of this. I don't like being political at all. I'm more here to talk about the Bible and talk about religious texts. But when you look at common sense versus stupidity is when you have to call someone a name like that, you know, like, hey, you're a racist, or, you know, or you're a misogynist or a homophobic. I don't support anything that I don't want.
Also, I have a question. If someone's protected or something, they have to be protected by something or someone. What do you think that is?
Well, I think that they're protected by the government because the government's pushing all this degeneracy on America.
Yeah.
Taking, you know, I mean, They put them in protected classes so they can call you names, so they can hide behind it. They use that protected class as a shield.
Mm-hmm.
And look what happened in the COVID, the 2020, and once you're called a racist, then they ban your channels on YouTube, Facebook, wherever, and then they come against you like this mob mentality. It's a religion in of itself. The Amish people are a religion, and if you don't adhere to their religion, they shun you. Okay, and these evangelical Christians, if you don't like walk a chalk line or everything lines up with their doctrine, they start putting up scaffolding and layers of bullshit. And they say, well, you can't come here because you're unrepentant of God. Or, it's the kind of nonsense these people, in these cults. What they don't realize is they're a sect, a religious sect. Woke is a joke. Progressivism is a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Like we live in Virginia.
Yeah.
And they elected this woman, her name is Spanberger.
Yeah, that's
and she put up all this crazy mess, gun laws. She's crazy, to me. And she's unconstitutional. She doesn't care about the Second Amendment, probably not the First or anything else. They want to nanny state you and control you.
Yeah.
And people who want autonomy and freedom, they should reject this openly.
Mm-hmm.
But what the government does is they use these protected classes of people to silence dissent. And that's what what Tucker is talking about and Carrie's talking about there. Women are in a protected class so they can speak out. But if you're a man, whether you're white, black, whatever, right, they don't want you speaking out. But if you're a black guy, you can speak out more than a white guy because today they have what they call, I don't know if it's called reverse racism. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know what word to use. But if a white guy speaks out, then he's a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's just that. And it's his fault no matter what. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. But I've never been a protected class. I don't think. And I wouldn't want to be. But people should speak out. They're firing her or getting her off a religious freedom commission, Liberty Commission, which is supposed to be religious liberty all across the country. And they're turning into what they hate. The woke. Okay, the woke say you can't say certain words. Racial slurs, which I don't encourage people to say those things. I encourage freedom of speech. But you can hate something as much as you can love it, and hate is an emotion, and love is an emotion. Love, you hear all these lies, about it, but I don't know. She speaks her mind, says what she wants, which is fine. Let's keep listening, and we'll examine another guy, like you said.
What I'm going through.
No, I agree.
They put you in this box and they shut the door and they say, "Shut up, you anti-Semite. You're not allowed in society. We're gonna."
That's the same. What she's saying right there is the same thing. Shut up, you racist. You can't say anything. Shut up, you misogynist. Shut up, you whatever label they come up with. Transphobic. You don't think that women are men and men are women? Can you define a woman? A naturally born female woman, I guess, biologically speaking. But they can't say that. And they say, if you say that, you're transphobic. Hell, it's like a catch-22.
Mm-hmm.
So she's describing exactly the woke mentality, right? But this is the Zionist mentality. And if you say anything bad about Jewish folks, any Jewish person like Benjamin Netanyahu or Smotrich or any of those people in the cabinet, you're an anti-Semite. That's not true. That's total lies. Total lies. You don't have to hate the entire Jewish people. I've seen people go to the extremes, and put stupid things on Twitter about, whatever. World War II, the other people in World War II, I mentioned them earlier, like that we fought against. So it's wrong on every level. Everyone on this planet's even with each other. There's no special race of people. There's no, what I hate above anything else is supremacy, fucking supremacy, white supremacy, black supremacy, Jewish supremacy. It's all garbage. We can utterly reject that. That's wrong. But and we can talk to people and have a dialogue and maybe bring them back to, common ground or common sense. But you're not even allowed to have dialogue in America anymore, because if you do, you're a racist. So stupid. Listen to what she's saying. It's very, very good.
We're gonna shame you. We're gonna cancel you. We're gonna destroy you. That's what they do.
Yeah, and of course it
These are
raises
thugs.
the chances you're going to get shot to death by a lot, which is one of the reasons they do it, right? So we
Yeah.
had this moment of agreement after Charlie Kirk was killed that, calling people Nazis can get them killed. And so I immediately called Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro, and I was like, wow, we should not fight. They both agreed. And the next thing you know, because they do understand, it makes it more likely you'll be killed.
Oh yeah.
They're totally pro-violence, obviously.
Yeah.
And so, the stakes are super high.
Very high. I have
Yeah.
small children.
Oh,
I take this very
get it.
serious.
You should take it seriously.
Yeah.
So then what happened?
So then I just doubled down. I kept posting. I wasn't getting any responses from Paula. I sent a follow-up with the head of the commission saying, hey, are other commissioners being...
Well, I'd like to comment on what Tucker just said. He's correct. Ben Shapiro is a Zionist guy. He's a Jewish fellow, and with big eyebrows, or whatever you call it, about, like caterpillars, they say. I don't want to insult him. They look fine to me. I mean, he just talks really quick, and all he cares about is Israel. And Mark Levin, too. I mean, I've listened to him a couple of times. He pretty much pretends to be American patriot to me, but he's really an Israeli patriot. And he grabbed Trump and said, you're the first Jewish president. We can show that clip if you'd like, but it doesn't make any sense. I mean, you can like Jewish people without murdering Palestinians. It's just that easy. You can like Jewish people without condoning hatred and violence and supremacy. You can like Jewish people and not support the nation of Israel or the little occupying country or whatever you want to call it there, right? Am I against Israel? I really don't like the country. Personally, I've been there back in 1988, and I saw how they treated the Palestinians. And I went to the wall, the Wailing Wall, and they shuckled at the Wailing Wall. That's kind of like they're humping at the wall or whatever. I don't know what the word you want to call it, that they're moving their hips like that. I called it body odor alley, but that's not insulting all the Jewish folks. The body odor was because the people were there for 3 or 4 days, and they wrapped these things around their bodies and on their head, these little boxes with, and they sweat really bad, and they're wearing like wool suits, and it's hot outside, and they're there for 3 or 4 days without bathing, and that's why people call it body odor alley, right there at that wall. By the way, that wall is the Fortress of Antonia or the Temple of Jupiter. It has nothing to do with their temple, And what they want to do, it sounds like, is destroy I don't know if they want to or not, but I've heard they want to take down the mosque, the Dome of the Rock, which would cause major problems, and rebuild their temple there. They say it would be the third temple, but in reality, it would be the first temple because Abraham or Solomon never existed. We have no archaeological nor historical proof that there was ever a temple. They had mines, richest man in the world. It's fairy tale. So the second temple I contest was over the Gihon Springs. It was a mud brick hut. Okay. That's what it was. I believe it was mud brick. It was small and had nothing to do with the other temple. We have no Roman records of any tax transactions with the temple. And they didn't call it Judaism back then. It was basically a Yahwist cult that they had, a small temple. And Jesus opposed it, or Simon opposed it. And so did John the Baptist too, by the way. But that's it for a different video. Now, in this right here, we don't have to support Israel. We don't have to support Ireland, any country. Although I'm Icelandic and I'm American and Icelandic, I support Iceland too, I guess. My relatives there. But you don't have to support Israel. Let's take a look at the main guy you want to talk about real quick. We've watched her long enough. We understand what she's talking about. They railroaded the poor woman. Hope she's doing okay. All right, let's take a look at this guy. What's his name? Mike Huckabee? Okay. I guess he's somebody over in Israel, like American ambassador or something. Let's take a look at this guy.
Outset, I
said something awful that I regret that my wife barked at me about. I lashed out at Christian Zionists and evangelicals, and I just want to say again that I'm sorry. I've always liked them because they're pro-life and they're also really nice people. So for the third time, I'm sorry that I said that. I think part of my problem was I don't understand the theology, and you are not a fake Baptist minister. You're an actual minister. You had a church for many years. You're an actual theologian. So, and I mean this with sincerity. I hear people say, those who bless Israel will be blessed. I know it's a reference to Genesis. I don't understand the connection between that concept and modern Israel and the geopolitical world. And so I'm going to stand back and
well,
ask
let's
you
first define, because, from my days as a debater in high school and college, one of the things I knew, you didn't start the debate till you defined the terms.
Amen.
Let's define the terms.
Thank you.
What is,
Thank you.
What is a Christian Zionist?
Okay.
What does that mean to you? What does it mean?
I don't know. It's the people who call me a Nazi for asking what Israel means. I mean, that's kind of my, I don't even know.
But here's the point. If you say a Christian Zionist is a person who has a brain virus and is guilty of heresy, that's a pretty big charge.
I know. I shouldn't have made it. I made it out of anger and ignorance.
So,
and I'm
Christian, I think we can agree, is somebody who follows Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
Has a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, believes in his death, burial, resurrection, has repented of one's sins, and have accepted him as one's Savior. Would that be fair?
Amen.
Christian. Define that. Zionist. A Zionist simply means a person who believes that the Jewish people have a right to have a homeland where they have security and safety. Did you believe that the Jews have a right to live in Israel? Do you believe that Jews have a right to live in Israel? That would be a Zionist. That's all a Zionist is.
I
It's
have
not
a
anything-
million questions about what all of those terms mean.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's not true at all. Zionists believe that the modern Jews have a claim to Israel because it was told in the Bible, biblical, and a Christian Zionist is a little bit different. They believe that they're Darby dispensationalists mainly. They followed Cyrus Scofield in his Scofield Reference Bible that was created by the Zionists in Oxford. And he's a member of the Lotus Club too. But I know a lot about Scofield. He was also an adulterer. He also was a war deserter, and he wasn't a good person. He was just a good liar and a good talker. But Zionism means that Jews belong in Israel according to the Bible. Not that they need a homeland. They could have stayed in their homelands where they were. There's actually a place in Russia that's considered a Jewish homeland too. And some people would argue Brooklyn or New York could be their homeland. Just kidding. But the thing is, let's continue with this. But he's manufacturing that. But Jews have a homeland. What about Christians? Can they have a homeland too? What about Muslims? How about Buddhists? Can they have a homeland? I mean, it's a religion, but they'll say it's an ethno-religious state, but that's different. That's debatable, and we can debate that. But for now, we'll continue.
Conceptually, I wish Israel no harm. I don't want to see them
Do you want them to have a place where they can live with safety and security?
So I saw this recently in an extremely telling exchange between.
Again, that's just another Zionist ploy. Again, don't you want them to have safety? They live here in America. We have safety here. Why can't, they're Americans for the most part, a lot of them. They have dual citizenships. We're safe here in America. What is in America? Beirut. They're making Beirut. But what they're saying is, shouldn't one ethno-state or one religion have the right to take Palestinian land by force? Nakbas killed hundreds of thousands of people. They still to this day take houses and homes from people over there. The settlers are violent. Some are violent. And should we allow that? No. Huckabee's just a Zionist. Hang on.
Lieutenant Governor of Texas, who I know and I've always liked, and a woman I don't know, never met, who's on the Religious Liberty Commission or something. And she said, I'm a Catholic, but I'm not a Zionist. And they had this ferocious exchange. And he kept saying, and everyone on the panel seemed to keep saying, you have to believe in Israel's right to exist, which I've never kind of questioned, just for the record, but it did raise two questions I think are really important, and I hope you'll answer them. One is, where does that right come from?
I would say it comes from, essentially, you could say it comes from the Bible. I would say that it does. But it comes also from a long iteration of historical precedents going to the Balfour Declaration of 1917. It comes from the League of Nations 1927. It comes from the United Nations 1947,
right.
The Declaration of Independence of the Israel State in May of 1948. They were.
Where's he getting this at? Never heard of this.
Well, what he's doing is he just said the Balfour Declaration, British Declaration, because they controlled it. Okay. It still says that we can create the land of like a little place called Israel, and they have borders they have to stay within, which they've never stayed within. They created wars to increase their size over and over again. It's basically a religious belief. Okay, he's saying it again as it's not a religious belief, but it is a religious belief. And the Jews, after the Holocaust, they called whatever, they were given the right to come there. Well, they were safe in Germany. They were safe after that, after the Allies took Germany. And so they were safe. They could have stayed there. But the Zionists used the Holocaust, not saying they should have. It was, what they did.
Yeah.
And they're pretty much, a lot of those guys are anti-Semites too. They don't like Jewish folks.
Okay.
They just want this land because they want the power. A lot of billionaires. So they push this and they push this, and Huckabee is religious. He believes that the Israeli people, or the Jewish people, should have their own land.
Yeah.
That's fine, as long as they're not killing anyone else. Amish people have their own land. But what if you decided to create a Christian state? Let's just pretend. How would that work? Tell me. What do you think would happen?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, the first thing they would do is call you every name in the book, and they wouldn't allow it. They didn't like the United Christendom in as it happened throughout the countries when they were kicked out of 109 countries because they were Jewish, which is terrible. They should never happen, but it did because people blamed them for killing Jesus, and I can understand how they wanted to change that with dispensational theology, and it keeps them from being evangelized too by the Christians, because the Christians wouldn't leave them alone. They forced converted Jews to Christianity. It's hideous. I disagree with all religious persecutions, but to say that they deserve the land of Israel because the Bible says so, no, can't say that. That's wrong.
Were immediately attacked. They won the war. They were attacked again in 1956. They won the war. They were attacked again in 1967 by 5 countries. They won the war. They were attacked again in 1973 in the Yom Kippur War. They won the war. The point is, does Israel have a right to exist? They also had wars in 1982 in Lebanon. They've had the intifadas, 2 of those. They've had
Lebanon
war
again in 06. I was there. No, I'm very familiar with the modern history of the state.
Okay.
Pretty familiar, I think. And I've been
But
here.
a Zionist simply means somebody who believes that Israel has a right to exist. Now, the question is, do you believe Israel has a right to exist?
I guess. I mean, I want Israel to exist. Well, no, but I want to know what that means. So, do other countries have a right to exist?
Well, they do exist.
Do they have a right to exist? You keep saying Israel has a right to exist, and I want to know what other countries
They
have
have
a right.
legal right, because every international body in the last 100 years has said the Jewish people have a right
I understand.
to their
You
indigenous
explained it, but
homeland.
my question
so that's a
is,
legal right.
What
Do
other?
they have a biblical right? I would say that yes, but you may say they don't.
I don't know. I'm actually
Okay.
sincerely interested in finding out what you mean by a biblical right. But first, to the legal right, does any other country on the planet have the same right that Israel has to exist?
Well, you could say, does Jordan have a right to exist? When it was Transjordan and the Brits came and divided up the Middle East, and they gave some land to Jordanians, and they gave some land to the Saudis, and they gave some land to various Middle Eastern countries, and it was all carved up. And the French gave Lebanon.
Is it just me, or is he avoiding the question?
He is avoiding the question. What it is does Israel have a legal right to exist? And if you don't believe that, you're an anti-Semite. That's what he's going to say. I don't think that any country has the legal right to exist like that. They fought all these wars to keep this land that was given to them by other nations. It wasn't given by God. It was given by other nations. He believes divine providence. Divine gave it to him, which you don't have to believe that.
Yeah.
You don't have to believe Israel has the right to exist.
Yeah,
You don't have to. There's no law that says you have to.
Yeah.
But I don't care if Israel exists. I care if American money is being spent on that something that creates wars and havoc in the Middle East.
Yeah, and they're in a different country. Why would we have to worry about them?
We do. I mean, that's the sick part about it. I mean, that's the part that I don't like. I don't care if Israel exists. Big deal. I don't care if Jordan exists. I don't care if any of those countries exist. I care about our tax dollars going for bombs that kill children.
Yeah.
That's it.
Horrible.
I mean, if that makes me an anti-Semite, then I guess that's what it makes me. I guess according to the new definition, they redefine everything all the time. But no, I don't have to believe that Israel has the right to exist, and neither do you. But but hating Jewish people, I condemn that openly. Hating Christian people, I mean, hating an asshole, someone who acts like an asshole, yeah, that's not a problem. But the thing is you can't just blanket someone because they don't like a certain thing. I hang around people all the time, and different people I speak to. I don't care what they like or what they don't like. I'm not marrying them.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, when you meet somebody, you pick out their flaws, not their good parts. And that's the scary part of life.
Yeah.
If we would just pick out the good parts, say, hey, I like the guy because he's cool, He may not like black people, or this black guy may not like white people, but he's cool with me, He's okay. That's how people should judge on the content, of your character, not the color of your skin, your religion, any of that stuff. I mean, if you're cool, if you're gay and you attack me as a homophobic because I say some things that you don't like, then fuck. That's what I would say. And, and if I attack you, then you can say the same thing back to me. But I wouldn't attack you because I could care less. I'm not talking about being nihilistic. I'm talking about reality. And this guy here is an ambassador in Israel. Let's watch this. This is getting really disgusting.
Its right to exist. Do they have a right to exist?
Do they?
Well, why not?
Okay. Every country.
Does the U.S. have a right to exist?
I'm asking you.
Okay, and I'm telling you, I think the U.S. has a right to exist.
Okay.
We came here. We came there. We're in Israel now talking. But does the U.S. have a right to exist? Does anyone question whether we have a right to exist?
I don't. Yeah, but I, of course, I'm for America.
Good for you.
But so every current country on the map has the same right to exist that Israel has. Is that what you're saying?
I think what we're saying is that when a country has established itself and it is following international law, it has been deemed by numerous bodies that it is indigenous to its homeland, as Israel is. This is its home.
What about Iran? Do they have the right to exist? They were following international law. They were in a proliferation agreement with their nukes. They didn't have any nukes, and we attacked them. Aren't they a sovereign country? Isn't that right? I mean,
yeah.
Doesn't that apply to Iran, Iran, or whatever you call it? I don't know. I mean, it would seem to me that if he's double standard or something.
Yeah.
They're a threat to Israel because Israel's a threat to the Middle East. I mean, they attacked all their neighbors, Lebanon, Gaza, good God, Syria. They've attacked all kinds. They have all these different fronts they're fighting, and they're putting their IDF soldiers through all this trauma. I don't understand it. When I served in war, we had an objective. Their objective seems like domination of that area. That's all I can say about it. I don't know, but I'm answering Huckabee's question. I'm looking at Huckabee here, Huckabuck or whatever his name is. And I just think that he's absolutely biased toward Israel.
Homeland. It goes back 3,800 years to the time of Abraham. It's not that
hold on. Now I'm
the
getting
Jewish people.
There he goes. Now, there he went. He goes back 3,800 years. No, it does not. It doesn't. It doesn't. Israel Finkelstein in the Bible on Earth, I mean, he's an Israeli archaeologist, good guy, nice guy, and Shlomo Sands and many other archaeologists. Ada Yardney, she passed away in 2018. They cannot find any archaeological records of it going back that far at all. And as far as Abraham existing, he doesn't exist. But Huckabee doesn't know that. Huckabee's he's got a religious view of it, not a scholarly academic view. He's looking at it. He says that they were there before. No, they were not. They were there, and it was pretty much Hellenistic in the first century, even before that. But the Seleucid Empire, it came in and it created a religion. You need. I can do research later. I can show you about it, but it's not true. And he's saying religious right to exist. That is delusional. That is not proven. That doesn't mean anything. Okay, that's like saying, wait a minute. The indigenous Indians, the Native Americans owned America, so we, like that, right? So they had the right to move into your home, take your house from you. They have the right to just come to anyone's home and just say, get the F out of my house. It's my house now, like they do the Israeli settlers. It's right if they attack their neighbors. Iran's not attacking anyone's neighbors. I'm not defending Iran. I'm just looking at common sense here and the truth. That's all I ask is the truth. Let's hear whatever this Huckabuck guy's got to say.
People just showed up here in 1948 and said, we're going to have some land.
Hold on.
here."
So those are two different tracks, and I just want to make sure that we separate them so I understand each one separately.
All right.
So you're saying there's the modern legal framework, and so you said a country that abides by international law has a right to exist.
I would say that is a part of its existence.
Would the inverse be true that a country that does not abide by international law forfeits its right to exist?
Not necessarily if it has the capacity to stay and make its case known. But there have been Jewish people in.
What Tucker is hinting at, Jacob, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Huckabuck just said if they don't violate international law, Israel violates international law, and they violated every border that they have. And there's actually warrants issued for war crimes against Hamas and against Benjamin Netanyahu and his cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why they're not being arrested. If you broke the law, Jacob, the police would come and get you. Matter of fact, they will. This man, he's allowed to do whatever he wants, and he's not obeying international law. So if Israel has violated international law so many times, you can't count. I couldn't tell you. But they still have the right to exist. He just said a minute ago, if they're following international law, they have the right to exist. And I know Tucker Carlson is getting ready to press him on this issue. Let's see it.
In this land,
Okay, but that's a
in this
separate-
very land, for 3,800 years.
Okay. So, but you're saying as the modern nation state with borders and a military and a Knesset and just all the kind of trappings of a modern country, all of which I support, that country every country on the planet has the same right as Israel to exist because it does exist. Is that what you're saying? I'm just trying to understand the concept here.
Well, I think what we're trying to get to is Christian Zionism, and you've taken this way off the road
I don't
here.
know that I have. I don't
Yeah.
mean to. Christian Zionism is a separate thing, but I just keep hearing people say Zionism is the belief
That's
that
the fundamental argument that's going on. Does Israel have a right to live in their indigenous, ancient, historical land, a land that has been affirmed throughout international organizations, a land that has direct ties to the Jewish people?
I just want to know if this is a universal principle. I guess that's
Yeah.
what I'm getting at, because if it's not, then it's meaningless to me, because as a Christian, I believe in universal principles. Something is right for everyone or it's wrong for everyone.
If the
We
Jews
don't
didn't-
believe in special cases.
But here's the
I don't
question.
think.
If the Jews didn't have this land, would the Jews have a right to any land?
I don't know. I'm not attacking the Jews. I'm asking if this applies to every people in every nation. Does every nation have the same right to its own homeland, to its own physical land, that you say Israel does?
I feel like we're in a rabbit hole here.
No, I think it's a very straightforward question.
No, but-
does that right extend to other countries other than Israel?
But the most important thing that is going on in our culture right now is whether or not the people that are yelling in the streets from the river to the sea, whether that's a legitimate point of view to say that there should not be a Jewish homeland. There should not be a Jewish
You'll
state.
never hear me say
period.
that. I just want to know.
I know you haven't said it, but
if
that's the argument.
It's one of the arguments going on globally. And the United States, excuse me, has a pretty narrow view, I would say, in our media culture, of what's happening around the world. There are plenty of countries having this debate. Stonehenge is a lot older than the first temple in Israel. And it was built by the same people who live there now. It's the same people. And they are being pushed off their island and outnumbered by people from other places. And so in Great Britain, in Ireland, which is also a country with a nation of people, a race, if you will, that is being displaced, replaced.
Who are they being replaced by?
Immigrants.
Okay.
From other places.
I just wanted to clarify because I was one of the...
Well, just as a demographic matter, it's just like you can look at the numbers. It's not controversial. Just look at the numbers. There'll be a minority in their country. And their people have been there longer than Jews have been in Israel. Yeah. And so they're having this debate too. That's all I'm saying. And lots of places are having this debate.
Sure.
So does that principle apply to everyone, or is it specific just to Israel?
I think it applies specifically to Israel. It applies to anyone who can...
The double standard is just steaming off his head. Yeah. I mean, the irony of it. I mean, the British people, they have no right. The Irish people have no rights. Just Israel. Did you hear that? Mm-hmm. That's wrong. I mean, I'm gonna get this. This is. Let's just end this. This is ridiculous. Everyone out there, people in general, need to learn to get along with each other in whatever ways they can. Israel is no different. Actually, it was created in 1948. I don't believe, personally, I do not believe it has any continuity with any of the Old Testament, and that's anything. I think it's violated international law. I believe it's committed genocide. I believe it continues. And I believe this war that's going on right now is for Israel, Trump. Whether Operation Epstein Fury or Epic Fury has any validity, I doubt it. It's just the slaughter of innocent people. We can't do that. That's wrong on every level. Harming people in general is wrong. We've watched a pastor, a woman who, in my opinion, is Paula White, is, I don't know what terms to use her, schizotypal. That would be one word. Also delusional, and also a megalomaniac. Okay, she sees angels. She's chanting. Mm-hmm. There's no reason to follow her. I see Carrie Prejean. She's a Catholic. She's a covenantalist. She believes that that she's chosen to, which is another delusional thing. But she still believes in the peace and sanctity and stuff like that. Tucker Carlson guy makes plenty of sense. This Mike Huckabee guy here is a irrational Zionist. Why can't we just get along like Rodney King said? I don't know. Maybe we can, Jacob, one day.
Yeah.
But no, I do not support any war. I've served in two for America, and I don't want to serve anymore, and I don't want my son to serve anymore. I don't want anyone to serve in any war unless we're defending the United States of America. If we're defending our country to foreign invaders, right? That's what the Second Amendment is too, by the way, Spanberger. She's too ignorant to know that. She has her own religion, and many people do. Politics and religion are very close. You have the right wing and the left wing. Both of them are part of the same filthy bird, okay? That's all it is. A lot of people don't pay attention to life. They don't look at things. But a warden in a prison, he likes to keep the two gangs fighting each other because they never fight to get free. Okay? They just never do. They encourage their racism and this, that, and the other thing to maintain control, okay? But they're not biased. The government is in charge, and they shouldn't be. It should be we the people, for the people, and by the people.
Yeah.
That's all I can say about that. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not an independent. I probably won't even vote again. I voted for Trump. And if I could go and unvote Trump, I would, but I can't because of what he's done. Some of his policies I agree with. Some of them I don't. This war is a betrayal to the American people, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It truly is.
I agree.
You do? Yeah. It's a
I
betrayal.
agree.
It betrays the whole thing of peace. Okay. I think he's a megalomaniac, psychopath, egomaniacal maniac. I think he believes he's part of some Messiah thing, which is insanity. He went to Rabbi Schneerson's gravesite, put a pebble up there, and the rabbi is, he's a Rebbe. He's just a guy who's dead. There's nothing special about him. He's to me, he's a Chabad Lubavitcher. That's a kind of extreme Judaism. They believe in the Talmud. They believe in the Kabbalist, which, watch my video on that, Kabbalah. There's nothing wrong with what people believe. They can believe what they want as long as they harm no one else. Do you understand? Or animals or anything, or other people's property. Okay?
Yeah.
Believe what you want. You can believe you're an eagle, a bird. You can walk around your backyard like a fucking dinosaur. You can do whatever you want. Okay? That's your freedom. That's your right. You don't have to support Israel, the nation of Israel, if you're a Christian. That's Darby dispensational theology, and when it first came out in 1830, people rejected it then. He created a church called the Plymouth Brethren, and look up C.I. Scofield, Cyrus Scofield, Ingersoll Scofield, I think's his name, and look at the real history of him. He was a liar. He was he just deserted from the military, and then he went around after the war bragging about his service. He didn't serve. He left his wife in Texas. She sued him, found out he made $1 million somehow. Well, the Zionist League, they needed a face for the South, so they could they took him to England, a half illiterate guy. They wrote a Scofield Bible. They brought it back. They gave it away for free to different churches. And for 100 years now, it's been poisoning the minds of Christians, like that. But covenantal theology is the same thing. It's just complete nonsense. I just live by one rule that Jesus said. It's called the golden rule. Do unto others, you'd have them do unto you. That's it. And I don't want to harm anyone. Harm is the worst thing. The word sin is harmatano and harmatisha. The first word in that's harm, H-A-R-M, and it's ignorance to harm other people. Yeah. So I don't want to do any of that. And hopefully you out there that are watching this video can understand that. This rant that I'm on, this rant is to help you and help me, mainly to clear my head and clear your head. If you would just go and meditate for 5 or 10 minutes on not harming anyone and let other people be. Let it be will be, and let it alone. Then you'd be a lot better off. Everyone out there, much love and respect. Thank you for watching the show. Just here, and hopefully you got something out of it. And this disclaimer, none of us are anti-Semites. We're not anti-Christians or anti-Muslims. We have Islamophobia. And just to let you know, everything that we've said here is a matter of opinion. Okay, thank you.
So would you like to take a bite of wisdom, baby, or knowledge? Stay wise.